The US Department of Labor just released its highly anticipated jobs report this morning, and as expected, unemployment rate held steady at about 4.3%, with 172,000 non-farm payroll jobs added to the labor market in May 2026. Beneath that story, we're seeing that the job growth is being fueled most recently by roles which are service-based and public sector-based, such as government, federal jobs, and in healthcare. Beneath that, we're seeing losses, and the most significant loss that I'm seeing and that I'm watching very keenly in today's jobs report is the loss to the financial sector. Why is that important? Well, in May alone, we lost 22,000 financial sector jobs. We're talking about jobs at commercial banks, as well as insurance-related roles. What's significant about that is that this is the biggest drop, a drop of over 100,000 roles, 105,000 roles to be precise, since the May 2025 high. Now, what's the reason for this? Well, if we look back into a Challenger, Gray and Christmas report, we see that similarly, the financial sector has been experiencing significant hits directly related, directly connected to AI. Employers are saying that specifically within the fintech sector, there was a loss of 5,731 roles that have been directly linked to AI. Whether or not that's true, whether AI is directly precipitating those cuts or it's simply the notion and the optimism surrounding AI is a question that remains to be answered. However, one thing is for sure, that AI is impacting the professional services market. One of the things that I noted in my time at South by Southwest in London, also known as SSXW, on Monday, is that the Bird & Bird CEO, the legal firm Bird & Bird, Christian Bartsch, who's the CEO of that firm, he was in a panel about how AI will change and disrupt change-resistant industries. And one of the things that he noted in that panel is that the professional services sector, whether we like it or not, is being changed by AI. White-collar roles are being shifted. Professional services, we're talking about law firms, we're talking about accounting and finance firms. And what's happening is, especially for the class of 2026, especially for today's graduates and next year's graduates, the future of work for entry level and those who are entering into their careers is going to look starkly different to how it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. Definitely significantly different to when Christian Bartsch first entered on his legal profession. What we're noticing is that obviously AI can synthesize large amounts of data, can absorb large data sets and get trained on it and act on it and analyze accordingly and calculate things. And these are, interestingly, activities that are heavily forming the fabric and the structure of professional services like accounting and financial services, insurance and legal. And so a lot of those activities are increasingly becoming automated with agentic AI. That being said, one of the things that Christian Bartsch noted in his discussion at South by Southwest London is that today's graduates and those entering into those professions will need to completely adapt their skills. Whereas, for example, a paralegal would be heavily focused on documents and paperwork and reviewing paperwork and analyzing paperwork and finding paperwork and updating paperwork. Now we're moving away from that into, well, AI can do that. So now it's a matter of that human element of trust, judgment, critical thinking, and high-level analysis. And this is exactly why the financial services sector is being hit so hard. Employers last month they stopped hiring for more roles as much as they were before. So not only did they reduce hiring, they pulled back on hiring, but also they began laying off their workers as well. And so what we're seeing is professional services, AI can do the work of what would take people several Excel spreadsheets and hours and days to do. Now it's being reimagined with automation, with artificial intelligence. And so that requires, as we see that the labor market, the workforce rather, in the professional services sector, the white collar jobs shrinking because those roles are heavily reliant on work that consists of calculations, working with data, reports, updating, working with data in so many different ways and manipulating that data. As we see the task heavy aspect of those roles get eliminated and absorbed by artificial intelligence and agentic AI, what we're going to see more of is the emphasis on leaner, smaller teams, but teams that are supercharged with human judgment, critical thinking, analysis, high level problem solving, and high level analysis, and being able to actually control the AI to ensure it's making the best decisions. Now, at the end of the day, when we think about the financial services sector, ultimately no one is ever going to trust a robot to act on their behalf as far as money is concerned. That's taken it a little bit too far. But what we are saying is that people are increasingly relying on AI to automate certain parts of the financial management process. And so while that's happening, where you maintain a strategic leverage, a strategic advantage as a professional and as a leader, is ensuring that you and your workforce is prepared for the future of work by ensuring you're leaning into those human heavy skills, those cognitive skills, so that you can manage the AI and the AI output effectively.